I didn't write episode 6 to argue. I wrote it to understand something that felt heavy. Those two scholars, I created them. Their assignment wasn't to decide if Ribera was right. It was smaller than that. Their job was to audit the logic, to see if it could stand. And I didn't want villains. I wanted young, smart, careful men, the kind you trust to look at a structure and say, yeah, it works. Because the power move here wasn't loud. It was limiting the scope. The question wasn't, is this true? It was, is this defensible? And that's a smaller question. They knew the assignment was narrow, but they carried it anyway, like consultants do. They did their job. And at the end, I wrote them saying, we did what we were instructed to do. Not as a victory line, more like self-assurance. Because limited scope work, it happens all the time. You're inside the institution, you're auditing the idea, but you're not outside the system. They even say at the start they're marking Ribera's homework. It was optics, other eyes looking at it, so it felt independent. But can you imagine their lives if they didn't approve it? When danger points at power, power learns to move the danger. And episode 6, that was me, trying to show what that feels like from the inside. After I finished writing episode 6, I just sat there. And I need to say this plainly, I felt sick. Not angry, not shocked, just sick. Because the gravity of it was so normal. No villains, no dramatic conspiracy, just people doing their assignment inside a structure that already decided how big the question was allowed to be. And when you feel that weight, it's not loud. It presses on your chest. That's the part episode 6 couldn't say out loud, so this video does. And that's when another question started. How did we go from reformers, sincere believers, looking at power and saying, that's the Antichrist, to sincere believers today, looking into the future and asking, when is the Antichrist coming? Same faith, same scriptures, different direction. And I think for a long time I kept trying to answer the wrong question. Because once the danger moves, people don't feel like anything changed. They just start asking new questions that feel safer. And I'm not saying anyone stopped believing or stopped being sincere. I'm saying the focus shifted. The reformers looked at power and asked, who is it? Today, we look into the future and ask, when is he coming? And that's when it finally felt clear. Episode 6 wasn't trying to accuse anyone. It was just showing the moment when the question became smaller. When danger points at power, power learns to move the danger. And once you see that, you can't really unsee it. Moving the Antichrist into the future worked.